Hey guys, today I'm here with Phil X, and we're at GitCon, and we're going to talk about Phil X's guitar because...
You sound excited!
I am excited. Because it's been a blast, right?
It's been a blast, man.
Really I mean, I've been on pretty much a caffeine, alcohol, no sleep diet since I got here.
I like that diet.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, less alcohol, but lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee. And I asked him if he would come on the channel and talk about his guitar, because it's a crazy...
And you're playing a Framus too.
I am playing a Framus.
See, we're walking around. We're at the Framus factory, so there's lots around.
There's lots around.
Right, there's the showroom and stuff. And this is, I came up with this because I came to Framus and I really felt like, wow, they got some really cool stuff, and the factory's amazing, and you take a tour and you're like blown away. But I wasn't crazy about any particular model that already existed. So I walked into the bass showroom and I saw the Jack Bruce Warwick bass, which is kind of like this.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. And no, with all due respect, I'm not crazy about any of the Framus guitars, but if you make a Framus guitar out of the Warwick Jack Bruce bass, I'm on board.
Right.
And we just made the horns a little pointier and changed the contour a little, and it comes with a humbucker or a P90, and actually then two humbuckers and two P90s if you want.
Right.
Just to be, a lot of people like two pickups. I prefer one. But so this is they built my dream guitar basically. The neck of my choice, which is like a 59 Les Paul, a little wider.
Is the chunkiest neck ever.
It's
It's a man's neck.
It's a man. Oh, see.
Yeah.
It's a man's neck.
It's a man's neck. I mean,
that's a James Brown sound, right? It's a man's neck. And this is a kill switch because this was the first Czech model built. Like, so I had 3 customs already.
Right.
And then I came to the factory and they go, play this white one, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And they go, what's the first team built guitar? And I'm like, fantastic. And because I was, it's a lower price point, so I didn't expect it to be as good, but it was kicking my ass. It was awesome. But they accidentally put a hole for the humbucker, which comes with a split series and parallel switch.
Right.
So they put the hole, but there's really nothing to do with the P90.
Right.
So they just put a kill switch in the hole for me.
But do you use it?
No. Yeah. It's just to fill the hole. Fill the hole. My uncle used to say, if you ever see a hole, fill it.
Yeah.
Or plug it.
Yeah.
One or the other.
So have you done a demonstration or official review of your guitar? Have you put it out there?
I did something. We had a lot of fun kind of reviewing it on a Fred Americano one time where I brought 10.
Right.
And I played a riff to a click so we could line it all up. So I played the riff to the click and change guitars, and then in the edit it just went like I'm doing the same riff over and over and over, and bang, 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 bang. And the cool thing about it is you do hear the difference between like the humbucker and the P90, or this humbucker and that P90, and the P90 with 2 P90s and then just 1 P90, and you're hearing the subtle differences between all that, which is really awesome. I
wanted to ask you the other night when we were talking about it, right? So you're on stage with Bon Jovi. Do you play the P90s?
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it; those are big arenas. They don't feed back, or they don't have.
No, dude, it's an animal. It's definitely a different animal, and it needs controlling. So I can tame the P90 pretty much in any venue, whether I'm playing with the Drills, or Bon Jovi. I get on stage with the P90. I really never have a big problem because I'm not a high gain guy.
Right.
And there's a couple of high gain songs that we do, like Raise Your Hands.
Right.
Stuff from Slippery When Wet in New Jersey, they need a higher gain. And sometimes I'll use a P90, but if there's stops, like I'm so good at, with the volume, right?
I noticed that. Because you've been doing the jams.
Yeah. So
you're on it.
When you're doing like.
Is that why the knobs are so huge?
No, I just like big knobs. So like, that's the other thing. I look like an idiot doing this because it doesn't really bend because it's neck through and the neck is so massive,
right,
that you can't go. It doesn't really do the same, the bend that you can do on a Les Paul or a Tele or something like that. Even though it sounds like I'm doing it right now, I think because I'm sitting down. I never play sitting down. Maybe I should sit down when I want to bend the neck. I just discovered something on your show. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
You're like, I need 10%.
Yeah, I expect the acknowledgement. So another thing I want to ask you was, so last night you left it in the waiting area at the hotel.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it.
Uh-huh.
So obviously these aren't stock. These giant glow in the dark dots.
Right, because they came with small ones. I just ordered another guitar downstairs. We were designing it, and I said, "Can you give me the biggest dots you got, like for the top?"
Right.
And these are stickers too, and I kind of like the feel on my thumb. And kind of like, because I sing a lot, and I know where I am without even looking, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
A lot of guys are like, "Oh, how can you play with that? It would throw me off." And I'm like, "You're just a pussy." Anyways, but what I really like about like you get.
Well, then you have to have dots then.
Right.
If you get called out.
Yeah, you get called out.
Yeah.
So I'm on a big stage. Sometimes there's lights and stuff like this, and sometimes the dots just disappear if they're too small.
Oh, right.
They're gone. So that's why these are massive. You can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I said, that's the first thing I noticed when I picked it up. Besides the neck being
Massive.
You know what it is?
Massive neck, massive knots,
but
massive fucking dots and knobs and what?
Yeah, but seriously, no joke. That is the most comfortable neck ever.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, because I was sitting there, I was playing it, and that's the first impression. Is like, you're like, holy crap, there's like an eighth of an inch more width and thickness of neck, right? And you're like, that's some pretty serious stuff. Yeah. But then, like the carve they did, I don't know what it is. Did you design the carve?
It's basically the fluke of it.
Right.
Was just all I told Marcus, and I was talking to Hans Peter,
right,
the head of everything.
Yeah, he's the guy responsible for GitCon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm talking to Marcus Spangler, who is the head of production,
right,
and design and all that stuff.
Yep.
And he just came up to me and he said, "What kind of neck do you like?" And I just almost glibly said, I like a 59 burst neck with a little wider at the nut.
Right.
And he goes, "Good." I start talking to Hans Peter again. Man, we're talking about this and that in the factory and guitars and maybe doing something. And then Marcus comes back in an hour with my dream neck.
Right.
So and we didn't talk about carve, V, C, D, profile, nothing.
Right.
He just handed me this neck, and I'm like, that's my dream neck, dude. You made it in an hour. And by the end of the day, it had a body and put a pickup in it and hardware, and I was playing it. Like, it wasn't finished.
Right.
There was jagged edges and shit.
Right.
But it was like I would have drew it, you know?
Right.
And it was like, holy shit. In 2 days, I had my dream guitar. This is incredible.
That's because these guys are some next level stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. And then when they told me in November, because I signed with them in November of 2014.
Right.
And when they told me in November, tell us some finishes that you like, and I told them, November, December, January, at that NAMM show, they had 5 X models. And 3. I don't know if they were trying to prove something, like,
yeah, right.
You made the right choice leaving that other company.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I was mind blown. I'm like walking around, and any other company that I ever talked to with custom orders and this and that, it's like the quickest was 3 months for one guitar.
Yeah, my joke is sometimes you can make a baby faster than some companies can make a guitar.
Exactly. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, you can take it anytime you want. Just use it. Next time
yeah.
somebody's taking too long, just be like, dude, I could have had a baby by now.
Twins.
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 Okay, so 2 things before we go.
Okay.
And these are for me. These are my. I just want this back.
Do it.
Okay. The first thing is there's no way I'm a hack, but there's one thing you do on guitar that I love. Okay. I don't want to. There's a lot of things you do on guitar that's amazing, but there's one thing you do. Your attitude when you bend. The way I was describing it was, you look like you're coming at it with all this force, right? You're hitting the note. You're bending it. It's so extreme. And then I don't know if it's your perfect ear or your perfect muscle memory, but the note goes right to perfect pitch and then comes back down, right? Like you're not, you know what I mean? Does it make sense? It's like you're throwing a massive fist and barely touching my chest when you're done, right? Like you're landing it. You're landing exactly where you want to do, but you're still putting all this dramatic kind
ferocity.
Yeah. So show it how do I do that? What do I do? Do I just...
But do you mean like...
yeah, like when I bend, I'm like... Mine's like girly bend.
I go for an overbend.
Okay.
Like say, and sorry, I have to put this on, and I don't want to take the guitar out of the shot.
Right.
I don't mind if I cut my head off. If I'm like... see, I'm going to the 7 on D, right?
Right.
I'm like, there's a thing that I get. I feel like when you're playing guitar, you need ferocious moments.
Right. Well, that's why I said when you're
It's
watching
like when you watch a movie, if it didn't have ups and downs, you'd like be bored. So that's why there's death and happy moments and jokes and shit like that. Right. It makes it a good movie. A solo should be a journey like that.
Right.
And to be honest with you, there's a time, moments, and Keep the Faith in front of 50,000 people where your hands got so cramped from playing bar chords for 2 hours that when you go into this crazy solo when you just want to go nuts, your hand says, "F you, Phil. I don't want to." So that's when, okay, baby, make it look good. And that's when the air is flying and I'm doing the crazy bends and giving it all I got. And people go, "Oh my God, that was the best solo." And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just keep doing that when the hand gives, you know?
Right.
But I mean, I love over this, to me, and I try to, when I do clinics and when I do, I'm at rock camp teaching kids how to play and stuff like that, we talk about overbends.
Right.
But there's a good overbend and a bad overbend.
Right.
If you're in the key of E and you go, see how it's just a little sharp?
Yeah, right. Okay.
That makes you sound like an amateur player.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I want to ask you. Like,
So if when you're in like the mode of, now my overbend is more like, that kind of thing, right? But you know where that comes from, like, and it was funny because I talked to Steve Lucas there, and when you listen to the bending that he does, he was only 19 when he did the solo to lay hold the line, right?
Right.
And he was doing right, and I'm like, it just, to me, it hit me like, I like that.
Right.
Or when you hear Angus go, you know, it's and it's the bending, and I just feel like when you incorporate that in your playing, it adds intensity.
Right.
And it's so important. And I have this thing about vibrato speed.
Right.
There's some vibrato speeds that make you sound like a seasoned player.
Right.
With attitude.
Right.
And there's vibratos that make you sound like a beginner.
Right.
So, anything too fast for me, but I mean, if you listen to B.B. King, he's got his own thing.
Right.
Billy Gibbons has his own thing.
Right.
And Angus Young. And if you take them all together, those are the right speeds.
Right.
Anything super fast, you sound nervous. It's not attitude. You sound like you're a nervous player.
Right.
You
That's
know?
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
It does,
it's
right?
very, yeah, it's
I
very,
just wrote that. You could use it.
We'll trade for the idea.
Hey, that means we're even. We're at zero, baby.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing is you got to tell the story about the cell phone app.
All right, because I do this and Whole Lot of Love, but obviously I don't use the app when I play with Bon Jovi. So the cool thing about this is and so hey, bye, bye. And then so I'm doing this gig, and I met this guy named Tyler Morris at the Friedman booth 2 NAMs ago.
Okay.
And he was this kid. Nothing against you, Tyler, but he looked like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show, right?
Right.
In Mayberry, but he picked up a guitar and he nailed a really cool style in all the genres of guitar. Like, oh my God, he just did some this and that, and you can do this and you can do that, and I was really blown away from this kid, right?
Right.
So we keep in contact and stuff, and he's put records out, and he goes, hey, I'm in town. When you come to my town with Bon Jovi, can we meet? And I'm like, sure. So it's a no comp tour, so they buy tickets, and if I like you, I hook you up with backstage passes, and if you come right at 6 o'clock after sound check, I can give you a tour of the whole stage,
under
the stage,
right.
the inner workings of what happens.
Right.
These are my guitars and my amps and my pedalboard and John Shanks and stuff, and you get to see all this really cool gear.
Right.
So we were talking about it. He goes, I need to introduce you to something, and I'm like, what? He goes, Bebot. I go, dude, I've been doing bebop for 10 years. And he's like, oh, Guthrie Govan showed it to me. I'm like, well, I showed it to Guthrie Govan in London. You know, when he got up and played, he came and saw the drills play at a small place. And he got up and played Superstition with us, which is another amazing story.
Right.
But he saw me use bebop that night. And I was like, and people, you know, guitar players, we borrow from each other, we steal from each other. But it kind of makes it a really cool community.
Right.
But it's nice to be able to say, dude, that guy got it from me.
Right.
So, yeah, it's one of those cool things.
All right. Thank you for coming on the channel, talking about your guitar, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of cameras in here. And then say goodbye. As always, guys, thank you for spending some time with us today. And until next time, know your gear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, man. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.